Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirsha here, and now, before we do get started, I don't know when this is going to be uploaded, so I do just want to say, Merry Christmas. Now then, with that being said, let us continue. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Deku, Zenith, Rose, and Alex. Now, Alex, he was a bit scared of Izuku when the two first met. He's heard a few things from people around the Foundation. He might have clearance level 2, but that doesn't mean what he's hearing is what he's authorized to hear. Now, this means a lot. Whenever he heard about Deku and whenever he learned he was on assignment with this anomaly, he thought he might meet the devil. However, Deku is remarkably different from what he thought. And he can definitely say that after spending nearly 2 weeks sharing an apartment with Deku. Now, Deku, he talked about something that was quite strange. In the footage they had for trying to track down one of these individuals, it seemed like something was off. When Deku pointed this out, Alex fixed the search parameters in their algorithm, and they started to get flags for somebody they were searching for in Austin. Now, Deku, Zenith, and Rose went to a nightclub where they were trying to track down the individuals who they're looking for. Their sightings are all centered around this location, along with the fact that after the algorithm was updated, a little bit more sightings were found. Though this could just be a coincidence, and the Foundation, they don't really believe in that. When the three went to a nightclub, Deku, he got to have a drink and sit down. See exactly what the people of the world get to experience. They get to come here and let their worries go. He might be working, but this was definitely nice. Though while Deku was on his search for somebody, he had another anomaly pop up. Somebody else who was from Prometheus Labs. But they weren't just another anomaly created by his mother. There was somebody Deku's already met before. A woman by the name of Sammy, who sat there in a white dress talking to Deku about a few things. Even about how the connection they do share is rather interesting. But just as fast as she popped up and started saying things that Deku didn't really understand, she disappeared, telling Deku about the situation that happened upstairs, and he had to intervene. Deku, he learned that Rose and Zenith were being harassed by some people. He stepped in and definitely roughed those guys up. Though whenever shots started to get fired, he talked about how they needed to run. And when they got back to the apartment later, Alex was not happy he would have to file a report about what he's seeing. Especially with the fact that even while on mission, Zenith had alcohol. And the anomaly had alcohol as well. They don't know what it could do to her biology. However, it was very clear that she was talking about playing the part well. And when those creeps stepped in, that's where things got a bit more serious. And right now, Deku, he does go walking up to the apartment. After remembering Sammy, his mind feels like it's wrapping itself together. His mind just doesn't know what to say. He imagined her, didn't he? But she's real. She found him, but they're not supposed to have met yet? She wasn't making very much sense. All this stuff she was saying. I mean, how does that even work? Deku walking over and sitting down, as he was bring his hands up and go to start unbuttoning his shirt on the couch, before Alex does his own sit there and typing a few things in to his computer. Turning and seeing Deku, asking exactly if he's alright. And Deku does go to hold the back of his shirt. Before he does, go to see the two holes in the back talking about it. He's fine. Though this shirt, it's ruined now. You're lucky. Am I? You're an anomaly. You're lucky, trust me. With some of the stuff that a lot of us normal folk have to worry about, I'd say you got the lucky ticket. How could you say that, Alex? Hmm? What do you mean? Zenith standing on the other side of the door, trying to think about what to do. She's already taken off her heels, gotten changed, and is trying to sober up. Yeah, she's got a decent buzz going, but she knows how well she can work under the influence of certain chemical substances. Every member of an MTF has to go through that type of training, especially for the stuff she's had to deal with before. Some of it is classified. She's got to tell this kid that. Let him know. He's still green. And she does it to open the door. As she doesn't stop one of her rows, does go to stop her. Them wanting to continue their earlier conversation. But she does his own turn, hearing Deku's voice a little louder than he means to talk. I don't know a lot. Hmm? What do you mean? What I consider normal, Alex, you consider freaky. Maybe. But what about it? My earliest memories were in a cage. That catching him off guard. Oh, sorry. For the first few, not for half of my life, but for a good portion of it, Alex, I lived in 3 Portlands. I fought daily, was not treated as human. A lot of things were not good for me. The Foundation improved those things. My first real memory, looking back on it and knowing more, it was of my own mother holding me. That's good. No, it is not. I reached out for her. I know more now. I sought the comfort of familiarity, but she looked at me, gave me this grin, this smile that I now recognize as sinister. She sold me. She wanted to make money. I don't know much about her, Alex. I want to meet her. And after living through everything I've lived through, I wouldn't call myself lucky. Deku tapping onto his head, expressing, if he lived through a fifth of what he's lived through, he would go insane. And there's another thing he doesn't realize. What does he think his abilities are? Uh, I don't know. I know for a fact that you're hard to kill. I do die. But when I do, things go black for a minute. Things are gone. I cease to exist. You do? Yes. Then things come back. I feel fuzzy. I fade. Then I return. Different abilities, more power, more pain. Pain? You feel pain? Yes. All the pain. Feel it. Have experienced death hundreds of times. Thousands. I forget sometimes, Alex. Sorry, my mind is wandering. I'm Remembering back on some of that stuff is not good. Especially after, well, let's just say I'd rather go back in the cage. That bad? Yes. Worse. A lot worse. And this, Zenith does want to focus on. Before she said turn back, bring her hands onto Rose's shoulders, cutting her off. Okay, she's sorry, but her thoughts on Izuku? Oh, what she was trying to talk to her about earlier at the bar. It is still odd. Were you not even listening to me? I was. Though, you consider him a friend. You like him. So I'd say take a chance. Take a chance? That spell, I don't think you understand its importance. Maybe not. But you said it reveals people close to you. It helps you find them. Helps you track them down. He saw what you wanted to find someone see. Is that it? It pulled you and him together. That's not what it's supposed to do. It is supposed to be a way of calling out. If someone else does cast a spell, they'll resonate back. We will once intertwine. Intertwine? However, does that work? It means a bit. It means that they'll know where I am, and I will know where they are. It is an ancient ritual our people have done before. It helps find those close to you and bring them back. Does it now? Yes. It is said that the ritual is forbidden. We have many branching paths in life. However, if that is the case, then her mumbling something as Zenith does a step forwards, bring her hands up and telling her, focus on the words, come on, say it. Her somewhat shaking her a bit, and Deku does it a walkover, pulling open the door and asking exactly what they're doing. Oh, hey, we were just coming over. Her stepping inside, dragging Rose along as the two do just want to talk. Zenith turning and trying to talk about how she wants to talk to Alex about something. And he does go to look up from his computer. Currently, him typing an email back to the higher-ups, as he has to tell her. Right now, he doesn't really have time for that. He looked in reports earlier and that hit wasn't good. He's also going through the leads, trying to sort all of them out. So, whatever she's trying to talk to him about, he can handle it later. Besides, there's a lot more important things they should be focusing on. And she does glare at him, crossing her arms and talking about it. Now, they need to step outside and have a chat. Or they can head back to her apartment and she can debrief him. Alex going to look up back at her, since she's actually using the lingo she should be. She's acting like she's actually on the clock. That's good. Though, here's a turn. Seeing Deku and Rose, and how Deku does somewhat sit there looking down at the ground. He looks... it's mildly concerning. Though... Alex. Her walking over. Before she does slam his laptop close and tell him, now. As his superior officer, she is telling him they need to have a chat. And he does a turn back to her. Before she does, gotta give him a glare that does tell him many things. But right now it does tell him to listen to her orders. As the two do to step out, and Deku does get a look up before he has a turn, asking her if she's still okay, or if she's still shaken up from earlier. Her sitting there, as right now she does sit in a comfy t-shirt and some sweatpants. Her talking about it. It's not that bad. Are you sure? Her speaking in her native tongue, expressing, it's fine. She's getting a little bit more comfortable with English, though. She will have to thank him for that. But those men, they were harder to talk to. Getting the words out is difficult if she's not practicing herself what she wants to say. And talking with the foundation member, it did help. Yeah, I get it. Whenever I learned English, it helped to talk more. They'll get better with time. Though, I know I did. Much appreciated. No problem, no problem. You didn't get hurt back there, did you? I've been through worse. You were going to kill them, weren't you? I don't know. I was angry for a minute. Deku's standing before he does go to walk down the hall and go to open a door, stepping out and going out to the patio before he does go to turn, talking about it. Right now he wants to just think about something. Will she follow him? And she does get a turn, a little confused but more curious, following Izuku out onto the patio and a turn. Her staring up at the moon, and her eyes, they do to go wide. As she does a stare up and Deku does a turn, smiling and talking about it. See, that's what he's talking about. Hmm? What? I know you. Whenever we were free, you still like going outside, looking up and staring at it. Do you do that too? What? Sit outside. Just try and see if you can catch a glimpse of it at night. The way it does light up the night. Not many stars, as there was before. There aren't. I know. Deku turning back to her and talking about it. It's a whole thing. Walking over and sitting down in a chair as he's a look up and gonna let out a breath, talking about it. He's not sure. Not sure about what. Those men? I told you, it's fine. But I was curious. You had this look on your face. I know. I just... You went slack. Your face dropped and you... I haven't seen that look on your face before. You weren't scared. You weren't angry. You weren't anything. You just looked hypnotized. I know. That happens sometimes. Whenever I face something I know I can take out, whenever I know I'm able to just overpower my opponent, It's like a second nature. My body knows what to do. My mind doesn't need to hesitate. I just shut off and go. I was made to kill, Rose. My entire reason for existing was to be a war machine. Her looking at Deku, and he does it to somewhat turn away, feeling strange to be having a conversation like this. He cares for his friends. He likes her. He was keeping them at arm's length. He told this to somebody once before, and they talked about it with him. They tried to reassure him about it. Dr. Bright has tried numerous times to tell him what he is and what he is now are different. He's not made to be just that. That might have been what he was made to do in the beginning, but his life is his own now. And these things, Deku, he is quite uncertain of. If his purpose in life isn't to kill, what exactly is it? He knows he was made in a lab, and then there was the battlefield, the arena, where some of his earliest memories do start, where a lot of them begin. That's another story. The lab he vaguely remembers. The woman who held him he remembers vividly. Way too vividly. Then there's the cage, the cell, the arena, the battles. The first time he died. He was terrified. And Deku does look up, expressing this to her about how he remembers a lot of things from what has happened to him. What do you mean? I don't know how to fully explain it to you. Try me. I understand a lot, especially about your part of the world. Your part of this. Not really, you don't. Rose, Deku trying to tell her about everything. He starts, and then the words just come pouring out. She thought he was a monster the first time she saw him. He doesn't blame her for that. Hell, looking back on it now, the way he looks now, he could say the same thing. He definitely has done some bad things. He remembers them all. He can see them all. He knows he's not the worst person out there. He's seen bad things. But doing them again, willingly, some of them are interesting to think about. The stuff he has had to do before. And then there's now. Whenever he saw she was in danger, he lost it. That's what happened out there. And she just won't nod her head. Her staring up at the sky and going to look at the giant moon in the sky, focusing on it. Turning as she does, go to walk over. Going to somewhat bend down and bring her hand out, grabbing on a Deku's arm, which he does currently somewhat lean on his knees. Her talking about it. She does not view him as a monster anymore. You are my friend. More importantly, you have saved my life on multiple occasions. You understand me, do you not? I do. I have known you for a long time. Yes, you know things about me I do not wish the Foundation to know. I do. And you've kept that. I have. I do thank you for that, Izuku. The Foundation may not know. They may not fully understand. These things myself I am learning. Do you dream? I do. But that was more recent. Sometimes I do dream. Sometimes I remember them too. Yes, I have been dreaming much more after what you have shown me and told me. I remember some things. Growing back up in my village, we were all wary. The goddess that was said to create my people, to protect us, she left us to our own devices. Those creatures, the Monstays, they butchered us. I remember my mother and father. They were both killed. My eldest brother, he's gone. I wish to return home to confirm it, but I do not know. The village was in ruins. With no one else around, I was certain we could not find them. With so much time passing, with what I saw, it was horrifying. I'm sure it was. Though, the forest, yes. Some of those trees I saw, the largest ones, they were the most horrifying to look at. They were disturbing, Izuku. I can imagine. But how long could it be till they come back? I do not know. If what I think has happened, then never. Those trees are just merely that. Trees. Their essence has been taken. Those creatures have feasted upon it, and they are gone forever. Lost. You survived their touch. I did. You can kill them. Prove that they can be slain. That means quite a lot. You have helped me understand many things, and I do appreciate that. But I now have more questions. Some I may never have the answer to. Deku staring at her. And she does go to fully stand, expressing. Right now, her going to take a breath for a second and then go step forwards. Her sitting down on Deku's lap. Him going to lean backwards in the chair as she does, good of her feet dangling over the side, bringing her hand up, telling him, right now she's happy to have met him. Can he understand this? He is not a monster. Can he remember this? Yes. Good. You are my friend. Someone I do care about. I do like spending time with you. Her leaning forwards and pulling Deku into a hug. And Deku, he does gonna bring his hands up. She squeezes him tightly, with as much force as her body can muster, And Deku, he can feel this. And he does it to carefully bring his arms up to wrap her into a hug. And she has to talk about it. It is nice for them to be here. And he is right. Her turning and staring up at the sky. It is a beautiful thing to behold. She is happy to have seen it. Again. Especially because tonight it is full. It does look large. It does, doesn't it? I'm glad you like it. I do. I quite do. Though, Izuku, those things that you say you saw, her turning, asking Deku about the strange lights he's seen. And Deku does get to tell her. He's not too sure about them. Maybe it's a lingering effect, but it just hasn't gone away yet. He's seen a few things before. Some of them have gone away. This could just be one of them. And she does get to reveal sadly that this is not the case. Her gonna bring up one of her hands and telling Izuku to repeat after her. And Izuku does gonna bring up his other hand. Right now them going to touch their hands together as their fingers do connect. Them laying them flat as their palms do begin to touch. And she does gonna close her eyes and then open them. Them begin to let out a green glow, which does then begin to turn the color orange. And she does go to begin to somewhat hum a little bit of a tune. Deku staring at this before he does go to do the same thing. And the two, they do start to somewhat speak. Deku's eyes opening as they do go to turn yellow, before they do to bleed over into orange. And he does begin to follow what she is saying. And Rose does get to talk about it. With these hands, she does bring forth life. Deku repeating her words. With these hands, she does know much will happen. The journey they partake on means a lot. She is glad they are on it together. She is glad that they know one another. She is happy they are here. And may the goddess herself, her gonna open her eyes. Before they do, gonna stop glowing, and she does look down. Her lowering her hand as Deku does still have his raised. Ask her exactly what is wrong. I do not know. Maybe it does not matter anymore? What was that? It is a bond. A bond? Yes. Allow our magics to intertwine. Allow them to feel one another. As we do. Magic is part of the soul. It is a beautiful creation. Something quite nice to see and witness. It does do a lot. It is a fundamental part of us. And it is a beautiful part. One that can be seen and expressed in multiple ways. Though, my people, we turn back to the land. We are happy for it. It gave us life, so why not return that to it? Your magic is nice, Izuku. Deku's staring at her. And Deku, he does not understand, asking her exactly how she feels about this. And she does not stare at him. Right now, Deku gonna stare back at her. And she does lean forwards as Deku, he does stare at her. and she does gonna kiss him. This alarming Deku, as he does gonna bring up his hand and go to grab onto her leg, him being careful so that she does not fall off of his lap. And the two, they do continue to kiss. And we do actually have where Deku, he does sit here for a minute. His mind trying to process all of this. This bond they do share. He does feel it. It's like some numb limb that does have blood returning to it. It's there. He's aware and can feel it breathing back to life. And he does go to close his eyes. A little bit more focused, aware. The air feels electrical. She feels warm. He feels comfort in her presence. His mind eases and relaxes in a way he's never felt before. He's felt it, but not to this level. He doesn't feel this emotion, this one that he knows is there, but it just slips into the background, unheard, unseen, him unwilling to focus on it. It's there, but it's not roaring out for him to pay attention to it, not roaring out as his dominant focus at the moment. And Deku, he does go to pull away for a minute. Her leaning her head forwards into his. And the two, they do don't sit there. Her head pressed to his. And Deku, his eyes do don't still emit a strange glow. As she does have her eyes emitting their own colorful glow. And the two, they do stare at each other. Her, right now, gonna give him a smile and asking exactly if things are different. In a good way. In a good way. I'm glad that you are you. Am I me? What do you mean? The information you gave me. Of things to come? Sequoia. That is private to my people. The fact that you know this, it does mean that I have given you much trust. Were we like this before? No. No. We were friends. I didn't know what this was. You felt this way before. I didn't understand it. I regretted it. I wished to know more at the time, but you were gone. I stayed there waiting for you. I stayed. You did. I can feel that. I feel your sorrow. No. I'm fine. Deku giving her a smile. And right now Deku does want to pull back, leaning back in his chair, expressing. There's a lot that's just been going on. The Foundation have him scattered a bit everywhere. He talked to a goddess the other day. Well, before this mission. She was quite nice. She helped teach him of these things. This feeling. Understanding this connection. Really? Yes. It is nice. It is. What did you think of her? She can understand. She does not judge me. That is good. I will not either. her leaning forwards, pulling Deku back into a hug and holding onto him tightly. And the rest of the door, it does go to slide open. Zenith walking out and talking about how they've got a... Hi. Is she interrupting something? The two sitting there. Right now, Rose, with one jump up as her face, does get to fill with a blush. Her telling her, no. Sure, I'm not. Izuku, we thought we had a lead. Though we don't. I had to sort out things with my superiors, and Alex is aware of it now. Though, I think for tonight we shouldn't head out. The Foundation is sending someone in. It took a talk, and, well, it is going to be annoying. But they're making sure that evidence of us there is destroyed. Good. And our role? Higher ups think that your incident at the bar was good. Though, they want to question you directly. Okay. Yeah. They said that they'll get into contact with you soon. Her staring at Deku, before he does disappear, and Rose and Zenith do get to stare at him, since that does not look good. And Rose has a turn, trying to ask exactly what the hell just happened. And Zenith doesn't even know the answer to that question herself. As right now, Deku, he has it pop back, and we do have the meeting that took place. Deku was returned to the same point in time they left him. Or they took him. Putting him back where he was and leaving him alone for the moment. And we do actually have Deku minutes before. Currently him staying in a room surrounded by the O5 Council. On a reality bender, they do go to stand there. Them, with their hands up as members of the council, they do go to express to him about how this is an emergency meeting expressly for his behavior and the current mission that is taking place. You used a reality bender. Yes, we did. Izuku, this is more urgent than you believe. What you will believe. You need to stop what you are doing. What do you mean? You're getting close. To what? SCP-8004-Rose. Excuse me? Excuse me. Her name is Rose. She is my friend. Someone I do care about. Another member of the O5 Council going to express to Izuku about how they may know her by a name, but they will refer to her by her assigned classification. That is quite simple to them. Now, if he does get closer, there could be a number of things wrong with that. And everyone, they do stare at Deku, as Dash 11 does talk about how he needs to stop. They are happy to have him as an asset. However, Deku turning to the man, and currently there is with the reality bender, he does go to stand there aware as to what he's trying to do. Trying to bore a hole right through his head. Though, there is the fact that all of them are wearing telekill helmets. And whatever mind attacks or information he does want to learn will not be learned today. As Deku, he does just stand there, currently in chains, looking down at his wrist and seeing how they appeared. As the warden does express. Dash 11 telling him his connection to the anomaly his interactions with the druid and with the goddess. They are deemed as a safety hazard. To who? To you. You cannot intermingle with other anomalies the way you have. Our reality bender has informed us of what you did currently and what you were in the middle of doing. Dash 11. Dash 2. Don't. Right now, you need to understand. What we're seeing here is unauthorized. We can't have this. If he gets mixed emotionally, then that does have the possible chance of emotional involvement and failure occurring. No. Dash 11, turning back to Deku. And there is where Dash 1 does express. Right now, this is not good. And Dash 3 does interject, expressing. They do want to cut in here. And as much as they do not like the current circumstances, they will speak on the anomaly's behalf. Dash 3 going to look at Deku. And the man's eyes can be seen to him as he is to bring up his gloved hand and express. The anomaly in question is on their side, and he has already saved their reality once before. And people do to look at Deku. Dash 11 trying to express about how these relationships he's beginning to create are not very good. And from what they can tell, what he's going to be doing is quite dangerous. There's also the potential possibility of another event happening. And they cannot take those chances. An event. SCP-682-2. His name is Izuku. Izuku. Dash 1 beginning to talk. Asking him exactly what are his current feelings towards the two anomalies he has had, well, operations with, business with. 4960? She is one of them, yes. As much as we are aware, she wants to see you as much as you want to see her. Where do you stand on that? I would like to see her again. Really? So if you do have her nearby, you would be willing to cooperate with us? Dash 1. No. Dash 3. You're right. I see where you're getting at with this. You do? He sounds crazy to me. Dash 12 going to express. As far as they're aware, it will cut down on cost if they do listen. With what they've had to do to keep 4960 satisfied, they have more cooperation than ever before. In fact, it's actually saving them money. So, if they do listen to this request, they might be able to have her involvement for longer than they might deem possible at the current moment. And someone they do go to talk about it. Dash 8 interjecting about how they can see where everyone's coming from with this. But right now, they're only talking about the two they know about. The information he does have is not good. And Deku does stare at the person. Before there is ready to feel something strange in his head. It telling him that they are standing right there. As Dash 8 does continue. Right now, they want their voice to be heard. Dash 3 does make some sense. The boy saved their timeline. With the fact that Pietro Wilson nearly failed his task of resetting the world speaks volumes. And people do to fall silent. Dash 8 continuing. If it was not for this anomaly, all of them would be dead. None of them would be here arguing. This incarnation of the Foundation solely continues to exist because of his efforts. Along with that, if they do begin to restrict certain things, restrict privileges, they will no longer have his cooperation. Them turning to Izuku, and Deku's glare does tell them everything. As the Foundation do put something up to a vote, turning back to Dash 1 as Dash 3 does get a stand. The vote being decided, allowing him to continue on his current path, allowing him to pursue certain involvements. It will give more cooperation to the anomaly. However, it means that they will have to jump through certain hoops. They were already aware at some point in the future bargaining with him would be the best bet. And it does appear that day has finally come. Since this, it's not something that they can talk him out of. Not something that they can just erase from his mind. Because they don't know how long that chip is usable for. How long that one can be redeemed. And if they try again with something this extreme, for something so little, yeah. That's the equivalent of lighting a room on fire just because there was a spider. In your mind, it might seem reasonable at the time, but there could be something bigger you want to save all that gas for, all that fire for. Something worse, something more dangerous, something more extreme. You want to save all that for. And this members of the Foundation do fall silent at. The vote being cast, and members of the team, they do go to vote. Deku disappearing as the shackles, they do get to drop to the ground. And the O5 Council, they do get to somewhat sit here. As Rhino Inca Midoriya does come stepping out of the shadows. Her looking on and quite perturbed by the vote, along with the way he was looking around. He was aware of the people inside this room, though her bringing her hands up and going to turn off the filter covering her face, it giving her true appearance form, telling them she does not believe that was a wise decision. In fact, she believes them allowing a killing machine like that to experience romance is inefficient. And they do turn to her, as she does go to express. She is still looking for one anomaly that is out there. When she does find it, she does believe that the Foundation will have its cooperation. However, as for what they have captured, she would love to continue her experiments on them. If they do so agree, and the vote currently is cast about that. Deku reappearing in the apartment as everyone, they do pick up there. Deku standing up and going to look around. As right now, Zenith does talk about what exactly happened, and Izuku does stand up and walk inside. Alex typing away on his computer before he's look up, asking about exactly what. Is everything okay? Izuku disappeared. He's right there. Yeah, he was gone for a few seconds. Is that bad, Izuku? I met with the O5 Council. So that is bad. What? You met with the O5 Council? Like the legendary O5? How many did you meet? How many were there? I mean, no, I don't want to talk about it. Wait, can you even talk about it? I mean, they're legendary. Are they all robots? No, are they all anomalies? Are they all immortal? No, wait, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Are they all crazy? Well, that one's. Never mind. Never mind. Well, listen, I don't want to know. Just don't say anything. What happened, though? Him turning away, though his ears are on full display waiting and ready to hear this. Since this is stuff he's not even probably authorized to hear, let alone know about. I mean, hell, he's acting like meeting with the council is a normal thing. It's not. Nowhere fucking near normal. If you meet with them, you either fucked up to the extreme or you've done something good to the extreme. You captured an anomaly and it is now neutralized, or you destroyed something that could have blown up the fucking planet. And he's treating it like it's a casual thing. Deku walking over and talking about how the council, they wanted to talk to him about something. And about how Dash 8 was quite vocal about a few things. Along with Dash 3 and Dash 1. Dash 1? Wait, how many of them were there? All 13? All 13? Yes. Every time I do meet with them, they are always there. Though this is the first time they've had to use a reality bender to get to me. Deku turning away. And Alex does stare at that. Zenith expressing, okay, so what is he gonna do now? Deku talking about how he does want to get some food. Maybe they order in tonight, watch a movie, wait for the algorithm to pick something up. Yeah, maybe. We can head out tomorrow night and see about finding something else. Um, Alex? Yeah, maybe some food, a break, and a movie would be great. I can look at this with fresh eyes and, well, I mean, you met with the O5 Council like it's nothing. You're still on about that. You're not freaking out? No, I'm not. Right, you wouldn't be. You're just an anomaly. Fuck you too, Alex. Him turning. And right now, everyone, they just wants to laugh. As Alex does get a little annoyed, but he does get to apologize. Asking about what exactly they should order. And Deku, he does a turn. Right now, him hearing a sound and bringing his hand up. A spike shooting from his arm as Deku does start to walk towards the door. And everyone, they do a turn seeing that. Currently, Rose going to bring her hands up as they do to pour with green energy. And this, it does cause Zenith to back away and currently go to bring her hands up. Alex paralyzed with fear as Deku, he does stare at the door. Someone going to knock as this does confuse him. Deku retracting the bone spike from his wrist. It sliding back inside as he does go to open the door. Looking down and seeing a gift box. It just sitting there on the ground. A little intrigued. Deku bending down to grab it, picking it up, and taking it inside. As he does sit it down and go to inspect it. Before he does pop off the top and go to look inside. A few things all strewn about. And this perplexes him a bit. It's random. Huh. Them walking over. And Deku does try to pull out a few things. Talking about how there's popcorn in here. That there's a necklace and, well, there's a bunch of old movies in here. Hey, some of these he's seen with Dr. Braid. Deku looking at a bag. Before he's pull it up, gonna stare at it. Before he's pop open this brownie and gonna bring it to his nose. Taking a whiff and immediately recognizing that smell. pulling it back and turning, looking at everyone as he does express. Okay, so this is from the Foundation. The gift box flipping its lid over. And this is where everyone is at her looking at that, and Deku does see a note stuck to the top. It with the name Sammy underlined 3 different times. And as Deku does stare at that, for his to turn and tell her, this isn't funny. If the reality bender is really watching them, then reveal herself. And everyone, they do to freeze hearing Deku say this, as he does talk about it. If she is involved with Prometheus Labs, then reveal herself. Or at least give them a damn hand. This isn't funny. And why the hell does she even have these? Deku holding up the container of brownies. As he turns back to the box. This being where the contents of it do still sit there. And he does go somewhat sigh talking about it. It does appear that he might have a bit of a stalker. What? But how did that even get there? And the lid? Reality bender. That's not good. Yeah, she was created by my mother, too. She had numbers on her neck. Just like Miranda. That's worse. Your mom made a reality bender? It does appear so. Though I've met her before. She was that same lady I thought I saw at the park. When we got here? Yeah. Though, look at all this stuff. Deku pulling out a few more things. In this, it does kind of intrigue him. Right now, there's a lot of stuff here. Old movies, a container of alcohol, popcorn. There's pizza boxes in here. How does even all this stuff fit? And Deku, he does go to hold up the container of brownies, telling them, okay, so right now he's gonna just take these, and they just stare at him. Before Zenith does tell him about how he's not gonna just hog all those, is he? Trust me, you don't want them. What? They're just brownies, right? 420J. Seriously? Yes. And that they're... But aren't those like store-bought? She's a reality bender. Hell. She wanted to, she can turn a fish into a brownie. I don't know. I just know I don't have good experiences with reality benders, okay? Right. But still. I don't think she can be that bad, especially if she's sending you a gift. This being where Deku does get to stare at her. And she does get to correct herself. Right, right. But, so they're just gonna order in? There's all this stuff here. It should be normal. I don't smell any poison. If she was a god, couldn't she just erase us from reality? I don't think so. Are you sure? Foundation reality benders would prevent that. Oh, that's nice. Alex, relax. I I really can't. There's a god watching us. She's not a god, Alex. She can just manipulate reality. You don't really know what that means to me. To us. Whatever, Alex. Listen, just watch your phone, then we'll get everything sorted. I'll start the oven, get the pizzas going, At least one good thing comes out of this. Yeah, your stalker buys you dinner. Maybe. Deku munching into the brownie before he's to talk about how he'll be right back. And Zenith does want to stop him. Though that's probably a very bad idea. And she does gotta let that go. Turning as Deku does come walking back out later. Him properly changed into some comfier clothes as the peaches are being slid into the oven. Right now, him sitting down and going to talk about a few things. Them beginning their start of a movie marathon. Since right now, they are just waiting on any more information to come in. And the idea of going out tomorrow night with a bit more of a hopeful idea for what they might find, it does somewhat help. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.